when you're new to a bookkeeping business, so it's not just being new to bookkeeping necessarily, but being new to a bookkeeping business and having your own bookkeeping business. Just a real quick story about yesterday. So I'm always kind of doing things that are outside of my comfort zone, trying new things. One of the benefits of having your own business, it does open up a lot of time, flexible time, that you can do things that you're not, that you've maybe never done before, you know, different hobbies that you can try out and stuff like that. So I'm always trying out different things, and I tried some, I've been working on this thing, and yesterday I had some success with it. And when I was driving back from it yesterday, I just had this kind of overwhelming thought that, you know, although going into it, I'm nervous and apprehensive, all those things, I do know that after going through the experience I went through yesterday, that I had success, and it wasn't perfect. I'm not great at it yet, but I had some success. And the reason why I had success is because I have other strengths that I bring to the table. And the thing that really stuck out to me is, I think everybody has that, whether they're older like me, or younger. There's different strengths that we bring to the table of starting, in this case, starting and growing your own bookkeeping business. So I want to talk about that and kind of break it down into kind of an older category and a younger category. So wherever you think you fall, it's all right. Some of these, you know, work in both categories, but so first we're going to talk also about the strengths that we have, okay? And then we're going to talk about the strengths that we don't have. So we're going to, you know, whether we're older or younger, we already have some strengths that we can bring to the table of this that can help us when we're nervous, when we're feeling imposter syndrome, that kind of thing, fear of failing. So let's go with what strengths that we already have. So let's do that. Already have. Okay. And let's break it down into kind of an older, how do I want to divide my board here? Let's go older and younger. Okay. So whether you're older or younger, whether you know it or not, you already have, and you have, even if you have zero bookkeeping experience and zero starting your own business experience, you actually do have some strengths that you can rely upon until you build what you don't have yet. A big thing in my son's elementary school is this word yet. You know, they always focus on yet because you don't know yet. So, okay. So we'll do that as well. All right, so if you're older, I made a kind of a list here. You should have more life experience, right? So that's kind of just general life experience. So I'm just going to write this, just life experience. And that encompasses a lot of things, and it's kind of makes some of these things redundant maybe, but life experience is a big thing. Just kind of knowing yourself, knowing other people, knowledge of other jobs. So you come in with knowledge of other jobs you've had. That's a big thing right there. You know, you've gone through the process before in your life of starting a new job, going through that learning curve of things that maybe younger people haven't experienced quite so much of. So that comes with different skills. Can you guys see this all right? Just a thumbs up? No, you can't? Oh, okay. Is that better? Too small? Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Plan B. All right. So older. We'll go big. Older. I should have asked earlier. Okay. So life experience. Previous job knowledge. I'm abbreviating everything, which comes with skills. Okay. And a big one, how to talk to people. Because when we're young, I can speak for myself, and this is something that took a while for me to get up to speed on. It's just kind of, I'm from a small town in central Illinois, and you know, we knew everybody, you know, so talking to people was always kind of a new thing to me when I was starting my book business. So, and I still have some problem with that. Here's another one, is perceived experience. So an older person, if you look at an older person and they're doing a particular job, you actually just perceive them as knowing more because they're an older person in that job. I'm not talking an old person in the job, just like an older person doing a job, you kind of already assume in this industry. If it's a different industry, there's some industries where that wouldn't be true. But in this industry, if you look at an older person, that's a bookkeeper, you would already perceive that they have experience. So perceived. I might spell this wrong. See, experience. All right. So perceived experience, that's really big. So that cuts down on the questions that people might have of you, because they just assume, by looking at you, you're a little older. So they might just think that you already know what you're doing. You also might have more money you may or may not to invest. So you might have some savings saved up from previous jobs that you can invest in, you know, the branding, your advertising, your networking, you know, getting yourself out there. And so that's big. And also, this is a questionable one. You might have more time. You may have more or less time than someone younger. So if you're, say, retired or semi-retired, and you don't have young children, you're empty nester or something like that, you may have more time than somebody that's younger. So you can capitalize on all of these things, and you may have less time, because if you're working a full-time job and you're trying to get this business off the ground, you may have less time. So this one can go either way. But if any of these apply, or any or all of those apply to you, those are things that you already have as an older person starting your own bookkeeping business. And so we'll get to the things that you may not have yet, but these are the things that you can really rely upon throughout your days to kind of get you through the you know, the time it takes you to learn the other things that you have to learn. Okay, so that's if you're an older person just starting out. All right, let's go over if you fall into the younger person category. All right. Younger. All right. For the younger folks, you should have more energy. So, you know, what's that saying of success? I think it is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. I don't know if that's for success, but it does apply to success in a lot of ways. It might not be that exact percent, but so energy is very important. So the younger people might have more energy than an older person does, and they should. unless they are not eating properly. So, so they can rely upon energy. All right. Here's that time again. So if they are younger and they're not, they're not busy with a full-time job and don't have kids yet, and don't have a lot of life responsibilities, they may have more time, but they also might have less time if they're, say, in school or working a full-time job, might have family, kids, young kids. So it might have less time there too. So that one isn't always a for sure. Here's one. Tech. A younger person typically has more tech knowledge, more tech savvy, which is huge because we're living in a technical world, obviously, and we're ideally working remotely, and so we're dealing with software and hardware things all the time. So being able to know that stuff and being able to we're always problem solving as a bookkeeper. That's a big thing. It leads to this too. A younger person typically can learn faster. So again, situation dictates, but if they're taking care of themselves, a younger person should be able to learn probably faster than an older person, as so they say. So that's huge when we're learning a new thing, a new trade. You can get up to speed rather quickly using all your energy, your ability to learn fast, your extra time, and your ability, you're not going to get hung up on technology issues. Those are huge factors. And maybe kind of maybe less responsibilities like bills. This might be true, might not be true. Bills, kids, etc. So those are, all of these things are, things that a younger person may already have. If you're younger, you may already have these things that, even though you're brand new to bookkeeping, brand new to owning your own bookkeeping business, or starting a business at all, these are big things that you can rely upon throughout your days while you're getting up to speed on other things that you need to learn that are very specific to starting your own business and bookkeeping business. Okay, so that's what we already have. We went over the older, just went over the younger. So while we rely upon these things that we already have, we need to be gaining things that we don't have. So let's go over that. And this applies young or old. I'm going to use the yet in honor of my son. Don't have, oops, no, let's start that over. Don't have yet. All right, this is young or old. Or old. Or okay, so strengths that you may need if you just started a bookkeeping business, you're new to this whole thing. These are things that you may need, most likely need. QuickBooks experience. So QuickBooks experience. Needed. Most people, most small businesses use QuickBooks. That's definitely the one to learn. You can branch out later. Getting your branding. So that's your logo, website, getting your branding in order. Identifying effective ways to advertise. So effective ways to advertise and network. Very important. Learning how, some of us like me, I didn't know how to talk to people when they call on the phone. That's something that you just learn from, what information we have in the course, and but also just by doing it. So learning how to talk to people, learning to talk to people, what to say, what to ask, and maybe just not being shy, not feeling, that imposter syndrome and feeling too nervous to be able to, get your words out the way you want to. We all go through that. Okay, so learning kind of the how and what to say to people, and how to seal the deal, like how to turn all of this into a client, how to seal that deal, start making money, how to seal the deal, which all leads to the money. Okay. So these are the things that the strengths, remember we're talking about strengths that you may not have yet, young or old, you're going to be working on these as you rely upon the strengths that you already have that we went over already. So it's really, I think it's really important to remember that, because we do forget that. We're always thinking about when we get into those stressful situations, we start getting in fear. We're in fear mode, basically, and trying to not look, stupid in situations. And but it takes humility and keeping your ego in check and all that good stuff. Just understand that it's a learning process. So whether or not, so if you're starting a new bookkeeping business, I'll say this in closing. Whether you're young or old, you do have strengths that you already have that you can rely upon, and that are good, really important. You need all those things that we talked about, that you already have. You need time, to have your own business. You need experience and all that stuff. So you have all the pieces that make up a puzzle of having a successful bookkeeping business. It takes these things, but it takes all these other things that we were talking about too. So rely upon the thing. Just remember that you're probably already over 50% of the way there. This might make up even 20% or 30% of the way there. 40%, 50%, it doesn't matter. But you might be halfway already to being successful just by not having any QuickBooks experience at all. No bookkeeping experience, no starting your own business experience. You might already be 50% of the way there based upon the strengths that you already have just by living the life you've already lived. So let's keep that in mind. All right. So with that, I'll open it up to questions.